This lesson video will guide you for writing your body paragraphs for your argumentative essay for English 7. So far, you have gathered the information you need for your body paragraphs. This information will be on the charts you have completed in previous steps. You've had an approved thesis statement and claim from your teacher. You have an approved introductory paragraph from your teacher. It's now time to write the 3 body paragraphs. You have the evidence you need. You'll build the rest of your paragraphs with topic sentences, examples, analysis, transitions, and concluding sentences. It's helpful if you open up the model body paragraph example that's in your course. It is in the resource book for this step, and perhaps the video you can't see as well. If you have that document open, you can follow along. It will have the same information. The structure of the body paragraph follows a pattern that is typical of any body paragraph. You will have a topic sentence. This topic sentence will be based on one of the reasons or supports in your thesis statement, your claim. You will have some sentences to introduce the first example or support from the story. That's that quote or paraphrase and in-text citation that you're going to provide from the source. You're going to have your commentary and analysis of that example. You're going to transition and introduce the second example in support, and sometimes this can be 2 to 3 sentences. And then when you have that quote or paraphrase in the in-text citation, then you provide the commentary or analysis of that second example, and then you have your concluding sentence, the summary sentence that connects back to the reason or support in that thesis statement claim. Remember the thesis statement. We've been working with a model topic of texting and driving. And the thesis statement in the previous video was, although many people are against banning texting while driving, clearly this would be a good idea, particularly for young drivers due to the risk of losing so many lives, the high cost of accidents caused by texting while driving, and the lack of interaction with others in the car. For this model, we're going to be creating a topic sentence from this first support or reason, the topic of losing so many lives. Here is a topic sentence based on losing lives. Texting while driving is a dangerous distraction that has cost many unnecessary lives and should therefore be addressed as the serious problem it presents. There's the topic sentence that I just read. Now, as a writer, you need to find at least 2 examples from the articles that you would support your topic sentence. In this case, here's one of the examples that could be used from an article. Texting while driving has become a greater hazard than drinking and driving among teenagers who openly acknowledge sending and reading text messages while behind the wheel of a moving vehicle. Okay, there's one piece of textual evidence. The second is paraphrasing a couple of ideas. As many as 40% of American teens admit to having been in cars where drivers use their cell phones in ways that endangered their lives. Text messaging increases driving risk 23 times over driving while not distracted. And notice both of those have an in-text citation. Now, those are the evidence. You now need to work around that evidence with some introductory information and analysis. Here's the first quote you saw on the previous slide, surrounded with some introductory information and analysis. In her article, Study Texting While Driving Now Leading Cause of Death for Teen Drivers for Newsday, Delthea Ricks states that, that's the introductory information, texting while driving has become a greater hazard than drinking and driving among teenagers who openly acknowledge sending and reading text messages while behind the wheel of a moving vehicle. That's the quote. Now we have the commentary. Young people, often believing themselves to be invincible, are unaware of their dangerous behavior. As adults, we must be responsible for them as well as for other irresponsible adults who undertake such reckless behavior. There's a whole chunk. Introduction of the quote, quote analysis. Let's look at the second example. This is the two parts of the paraphrase, which was the second example. Other statistics are staggering too. According to a Pew Research Center survey as reported on the Federal Communications Commission website, as many as 40% of American teens admit to having been in cars where the drivers used their cell phones in ways that endangered their lives. Also, according to the Virginia Tech Transportation Institute, text messaging increases driving risk 23 times over driving while not distracted. There's the transition to the second idea, the introductory information. One life lost unnecessarily is one life too many. People must not bury their heads in the sand, but must take action to resolve the problem. There was the transition. There's the commentary. Here you're going to see the whole body paragraph over 2 slides. You've already seen the topic sentence. There it is. Texting while driving is a dangerous distraction that has cost many unnecessary lives and should therefore be addressed as the serious problem that it presents. Then you have the first piece of evidence surrounded with the introductory information and the commentary. Society should be very concerned about the problem of texting while driving, especially in reference to young drivers. In her article, Study, Texting While Driving, Now Leading Cause of Death for Teen Drivers for Newsday, Dorothea Ricks states that texting while driving has become a greater hazard than drinking and driving among teenagers who openly acknowledge sending and reading text messages while behind the wheel of a moving vehicle. Young people, often believing themselves to be invincible, are unaware of their dangerous behavior. Adults must be responsible for them as well as for other irresponsible adults who undertake such reckless behavior. Other statistics are staggering too. According to a Pew Research Center survey as reported on the Federal Communications Communication website, as many as 40% of American teens admit to having been in cars where the drivers use their cell phones in ways that endanger their lives. Also, according to the Virginia Tech Transportation Institute, text messaging increases driving risk 23 times over driving while not distracted. These statistics are unacceptable. One life lost unnecessarily is one life too many. People must not bury their heads in the sand, but must instead take action to resolve this problem. Whether texting and driving is banned or there's another answer, a solution to this loss of human lives must be found. A concluding sentence. You will notice that the writer of that body paragraph added some sentences, descriptive words, and phrases that helped move the paragraph along from idea to idea. One way to add voice to your writing is to add descriptive words and phrases. Here's an example. This is the first sentence in the body paragraph you just read. It was the topic sentence. Texting while driving is a dangerous distraction that has cost many unnecessary lives and should therefore be addressed as the serious problem it presents. Without descriptors, this sentence might look like this. Texting while driving is a distraction that has cost lives and is a problem. While the same idea gets across, if you notice up above words like dangerous in front of distraction, unnecessary in front of lives, and serious in front of problem, it helps add voice and engages the reader in some feeling and emotion in the writing. Your assignment will be to build and write your 3 body paragraphs using your textual evidence charts and the introductory paragraph you created. You can use the model body paragraph sample to set up your structure and see how to create these sentences to introduce your evidence and analyze your evidence. And as always, your teacher is available to assist you. The complete instructions for this assignment are in the course for this step.